Right now at 6, community cleanup after strong storms blow through southwest Missouri.
And those rain showers did cool us off, but we are starting to warm back up today and through the weekend.
Plus, kids get some career advice from the Carthage Technology Center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
Yes, and it's Thursday in the 4 states. Like I mentioned earlier, it's our last full week of June. The month has flown by. The year has flown by. And I feel like we can't keep up, especially as it gets hot with the summer. It just feels like it drags.
You're preaching to the choir over here. I don't mind the heat, but with how hot it has been getting,
and muggy
values, yeah, it's pretty bad out there. Luckily, today's gonna be one of our last cooler days before we start to warm back up, getting up to the low 90s, and humidity values staying pretty low today. Luckily, we're in the clear so far. Now, tomorrow we do start to heat back up, but let's focus on today. Calm winds, temperatures in the low or upper 60s, 66 out in Stockton. 67 in Joplin and Pittsburgh, 68 in Newada. Not too bad out there, and we do start to warm back up as well. Now, humidity right now pretty high, up in the 80s and 90%. And so when you get up, you start your day, you're gonna have some condensation on the driver's windshield, but we do dry out throughout the afternoon hours. Winds stay pretty light. We got 5-10 miles per hour throughout the morning. As of right now, just under 5 miles per hour. Not too bad out there. Now we also have a heat advisory, an excessive heat watch for Newada and Washington counties, just our 2 far south counties, and that's possibly 4 surrounding counties as well as we move into tomorrow afternoon, with a heat index getting up to 112 degrees. So it's going to be a pretty hot day tomorrow. Luckily, we stay cool today. We also have some rain chances that might help us cool us off, and I'll have those details in just a bit.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. Well, some 4-staters are cleaning up damage left by overnight storms. A line of storms that broke through our area early Tuesday morning left some people without power. Tree limbs and debris scattered across residential streets, and the roof was stripped away from Westco Home Furnishings in Neosho, Missouri. There have been no reports of injuries, but crews and residents have been working all day yesterday trying to get things back to normal.
I got pictures showing my roof was pulled off. I got up here as soon as possible, kind of seeing what was going on. Got a lot of water inside. Really don't know as far as damage-wise what we're still assessing everything.
No word yet on when Westco will be able to make repairs. Store manager Wayne Ray advises customers to reach out to other Westco stores in the area until operation resumes as normal. Well, people in Joplin are dealing with a similar mess. Some business buildings are damaged on Main Street. One at 1042 South Main lost bricks that caused authorities to block off the sidewalk. Crews were out throughout the city removing downed trees and branches, including some very large ones. Downed trees forced at least one street closure. One unlucky car owner discovered their vehicle covered with fallen limbs and branches yesterday morning. If you do live in Joplin, the city had announced a limb drop-off service for residents cleaning up storm damage. The drop-off facility located at 1702 North Schifferdecker is open daily from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. They will provide drop-off service until this Saturday. Joplin residents can also bundle limbs and branches cut to 4-foot maximum length and place them curbside for pickup on their regularly scheduled trash service day. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Skywatch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, the KOAM Skywatch weather app. A Cherokee County, Kansas jury yesterday found a Galena man guilty of murder. 50-year-old Billy Barker is accused of shooting and killing 27-year-old Levi Porter of Riverton in April of last year in Galena. The jury also found him guilty of being a felon in possession of a firearm and criminally carrying a weapon. Sentencing in this case is scheduled for September 5th. Well, scammers on Facebook are pretending to be HVAC contractors. Experts say scammers are taking advantage of the heat and people's desperation to repair their AC. To protect yourself from being scammed, the Regional Better Business Bureau recommends that you research if your HVAC contractor is licensed. Verify the legitimacy of your contractor with a quick phone call to their company or ask friends for a referral.
And people get desperate when it's really hot to find someone quickly, and so a scammer will try to take advantage of that fear. So even if it's an immediate need, you still want to pause and do your research.
We have more scam prevention tips on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, the Carthage Technology Center's Career Academies event started this week, and several informative stations were set up for career fields like healthcare, video production, and culinary arts. Students rotated through and began to explore careers that might interest them.
I think just what career and technical education offers students, right? There's nothing wrong with the core and the things that we need to learn and that foundational knowledge, but this is where you really get a chance to pique your interest and dive into the things that kids are really interested in. And it offers that hands-on learning component, right? And that real world learning that we can take beyond the four walls here at the school.
Students could also complete a personality-based career assessment intended to help them along the career path best suited to them. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Volkswagen is recalling its SUVs due to problems that can cause airbags not to deploy. Plus, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump will meet on stage for the first presidential debate of 2024. And Lindsay Gaffney returns with another look at your Thursday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, Marilyn Monroe's last home will be preserved as a historic cultural monument. The Los Angeles City Council on Wednesday unanimously voted to preserve the Hollywood starlet's home, saving it from demolition. The house in California's Brentwood neighborhood of LA is where Monroe lived and died. Yesterday's vote ends a nearly year-long saga to save the late actress's and model's home from destruction. An emergency motion was also approved to begin the process of designating the residence as a historic building. According to property records, the bungalow was built in 1929 and now valued at about $8 million. The biggest banks in the U.S. could be more vulnerable now compared to a year ago. That's according to the Federal Reserve's annual bank resilience test released yesterday. The review found banks could suffer higher losses if a significant economic downturn were to hit now versus in 2023. As a result of that banking crisis that fueled the Great Recession, the Fed conducts stress tests to monitor and uncover potential signs of weaknesses in the financial system. The test took on an extra layer of importance after the collapse of 3 U.S. banks last year. The current high interest rate environment has made it risky and costly for banks to make loans, which can depress their profitability. Well, Volkswagen is recalling more than 250,000 SUVs. The problem is with wiring that can cause passenger side airbags not to deploy. That's because the seat heaters can result in a contact fault with weight sensors. When that happens, the vehicle switches off the airbag even though someone may be in the seat. 171,000 Atlas SUVs are included in the recall. VW will notify owners by August 16th, and once the parts are ready, dealers will replace the faulty parts for free. Levi's is receiving criticism about its ethics in the aftermath of a report released by an independent labor monitoring group. The global clothing company is accused of ignoring its own labor practices by continuing to work with a Turkish factory. Last year, hundreds of employees at the Ozak textile factory in Turkey were fired when they joined a union and went on strike. The workers had been complaining about overtime hours and pay. Officials at Levi's say they ordered Ozak to rehire the workers. However, the factory only offered jobs back to employees who agreed to end the strike, which most refused to do. Ozak management previously said its payments and overtime hours are within the law. Well, in just a matter of hours, President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump will meet on a stage in Atlanta for the first presidential debate of 2024. A new poll finds 6 in 10 voters plan to tune in live for all or part of it. Jared Hill is in Atlanta with a preview of tonight, including a set of debate rules both candidates have agreed to.
Didn't take them.
Well, Vice President, no. Can I be honest? It's a very
the unforgettable chaos of the 2020 presidential debates.
Just radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
It's what moderators hope to avoid tonight when President Biden and former President Trump go head-to-head for the first time in 4 years. Each candidate's microphone will be muted when it's not his turn to speak, and there will be no studio audience.
The audience at home is going to be better able to make its own judgments.
Kathleen Hall-Jamieson heads up the Annenberg Public Policy Center at the University of Pennsylvania. She says research shows audience reactions can influence how at-home viewers feel about a debate, like this moment from '84's Reagan-Mondale debate.
I am not going to exploit for political purposes my opponent's youth and inexperience.
Those who heard the audience laugh in response were more likely to approve of Reagan's response and to evaluate him more favorably.
Well, polls show that most voters are pretty locked in on whether they would support former President Trump or President Biden. Analysts say there's still something to learn from this debate.
A new CBS News poll finds some voters will watch to see whether the 2 oldest presumptive White House nominees in history have the mental and cognitive health to serve. 1 in 5 plan to watch because they're undecided.
I'm definitely planning on watching it and kind of hearing from both sides, how are they going to help the country and help the people.
Most Democratic voters want Biden to strike a forceful tone, while most Republican voters want Trump to be polite. Jared Hill, CBS News, Atlanta.
And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Lindsay with a look at your forecast.
Well, we're staying dry for the foreseeable future. We do have some rain chances coming through overnight tonight. Temperatures get up to the low 90s throughout the region today, but overall it's going to be a good looking day, pretty dry and not too hot.
Paddlers are anxiously waiting for next month's Missouri American Water MR 340. It's billed as the world's longest nonstop river race and takes kayakers on a 340-mile trek that begins in Kansas City. But there is one competitor who says his abilities not only set him apart, but also ahead. Megan Abundis has the story.
Oh, it feels great. I feel like we're back on the river. My name is Isaac McBurney.
Isaac's in the front seat.
Communication is key.
Jake in the back.
Left, right, left. In a few weeks, going to be going on a really fun adventure, kayaking down the Missouri River.
A 340-mile kayak race. Isaac and Jake first attempted it last year until the storm forced a cancellation.
We're hopefully going to do a lot better this year than we did last year.
But for Isaac, it's truly about the journey, not the destination.
Being visually impaired makes me a better kayaker because I have no idea where we are. And so this might sound like a funny thing, but it is nice because Jake can lie to me and be like, we're almost there.
Isaac has found his place at Alpha Point in South KC. He runs the resource center.
We have a commonality of vision loss, but Alpha Point helps instill these ideas that vision loss is not the most important thing and that we can work through vision loss in helping build this community and helping people find resources that they need. A lot of people don't know that 90% of blind people have some form of usable vision. And so it's not the total dark black. It can be empowering to share that, yes, I'm blind, but I still have some vision that is able to be used.
So kayaking a days-long race is the trust in his abilities and each other.
Going down the river like anyone else would, except for Jake's the eyes that I don't have. It's kind of just how I live my life. I don't let my vision loss be the main thing. Yes, it's a big part of my life and it will be into the future. It's really just getting out there, living life, and not letting my vision loss stop me.
Certainly a story of resilience there, and good luck to him on his race. Now here's Lindsay with a quick look at your forecast.
Well, we've got a really gorgeous sunrise going on. Temperatures starting off pretty cool today, but we do warm up to the low 90s. We're staying dry for most of the day, but we also got some shower chances in the forecast, and I'll have those details right after the break. Well, I hope everyone's having a fine morning so far if you're up and about. Nice sunrise, 7th and range line. It is almost 6:30 this morning, so we're only getting up to right now low 60s, just about 70 degrees. But as we saw yesterday, our high only got up to 87, low 67. So we were right about average yesterday, and we can thank the rain that we got yesterday morning for that. But unfortunately, it's not going to last much longer. Today, we're getting above average, forecasted for about 92 out in Joplin, but low 90s for the surrounding counties. And we did get some rain yesterday morning, which was good because we are starting to dip back down into those drought conditions. So far, just a few patchy dry areas, but as we move into the summer and we start to see those temperatures continue to warm up into the upper 90s, even the triple digits, and we don't see a lot of rainfall, unfortunately, we do start to see us going back into those drought conditions. So across the area, Newcastle County and even just south of Independence, about 5 inches. The rest of us only got a half an inch to an inch and a half. Not too much, but any rain is welcome. We've also got an excessive heat watch issued for Newcastle and Washington counties, those southern counties, and that is until 9 p.m. tomorrow. So we're really focused. This excessive heat watch is for tomorrow. We do warm up starting today. Now, tomorrow, that forecasted heat index is up to 112 degrees. So that's where we're really focused on for that excessive heat watch. And we may see some other counties start to see a heat watch as well. Now, we're staying dry for most of the day today. We may have some clouds roll in, so we'll have some partly cloudy skies as we move into the afternoon hours. Like I said, temperatures getting up to about 92 out in Joplin. Cooler in Pittsburgh, 89, not too bad. And then even in some other counties, 95 in Grove, Veneta, 94 in Independence. Cooler in those northern counties, 87 in Nevada, 90 in Stockton. But as we move into tomorrow, that's where we're really concerned about the heat. We've got 98 forecasted in Joplin, 99 in Grove, even 100 in Independence, 103 in Sedan. Cooler in those eastern counties, 95 Cassville, 96 Monette. Not too bad out there, but we do see humidity values paired with those high temperatures today. Not too bad. We're going to stay pretty dry. Percentage from about 20% to 35%, and we're really looking at percentages for humidity above 40%, paired with temperatures above 90, and that's where we start to see that heat index go into the upper 90s and even triple digits as well. That's what we're going to see tomorrow. Humidity percent 41 in Parsons, 40% in Chautauqua, 50% in Neodesha, 42 in Newcastle. So you pair that with the temperatures in the mid 90s, mid to upper 90s, then we see that heat index really skyrocket into the triple digits from 103 to 110. Now, Today looking pretty good though. We've got those partly cloudy skies moving in as we go into the afternoon hours. Temperatures getting up to 83 by 11 a.m., 85 by noon, and getting up to low 90s. Now tonight, cooling down to low 70s. We got an isolated shower or two this afternoon after 1 a.m., and we do start to warm back up as we move into the weekend tomorrow and throughout the rest of the weekend. So we've got that storm coming in. It's about 2-3 a.m. and it's not going to be strong or severe, but we are going to keep an eye on that. And not to mention those temperatures on Friday. After that, we start to cool back off, but we've got forecasted up to 100 degrees the day before 4th of July. So it's going to get pretty hot out there, but we'll go over to Health Watch with Elise.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, fewer prescriptions for oral contraceptives and especially emergency contraceptives are being filled in states that have adopted the most restrictive policies on abortion. Fewer prescriptions for oral contraceptives and especially emergency contraceptives, as we mentioned, have adopted most prescriptive policies on abortion. And we're going to go to our next story there. It looks like we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. Well, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases says an injectable HIV prevention medication called lenacapavir was shown to be safe and 100% effective in clinical trials among women. Researchers say the long-acting PrEP is administered twice a year and could be an important tool for patients unable to take pills daily. And a new study from the National Institutes of Health suggests a daily multivitamin may not help you live a longer life. Researchers looked at data on more than 400,000 healthy U.S. adults over 20 years and found no differences in mortality or risk of death for those who took multivitamins versus those who did not. That includes deaths from cancer and heart disease. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Well, right now at 6:30, the city of Joplin shines a spotlight on its downtown.
And temperatures are going to continue to warm up today and through the weekend. We'll talk about it.
Plus, more unsung heroes get some well-deserved recognition at the Lowell Milken Center for Unsung Heroes.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Lindsay Gaffney.
Yes, we have a Lindsay with us for the remainder of the week, and we're happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here too, although those mornings, man, they're getting
right. You got to get your coffee, get your energy drink,
exactly.
And put a smile on your face and get out there. No,
I can do the smile, but I definitely will need some more coffee here shortly.
Right there with you.
But luckily today is going to be a pretty easy day. Temperatures only getting into the low 90s, and we've got mostly clear skies throughout the day as well. Right now, about 67 out in Joplin, sunny skies. As you can see, we've got that nice sunrise going on right behind me, and not a cloud in sight so far. We do start to see some clouds pushing in this afternoon, but overall, looking like a really good start to the Thursday that we've got going on today. 66 out in Stockton, 65 in Nevada, 67 Independence. Not too bad, pretty universal in the upper 60s across the area, and humidity values also pretty high, up in the 90%. So when you start your day, you're gonna have that condensation on the windshield. I know I did this morning. Took a while to get it back off as well. We have also got light winds, pretty calm, 5-10 miles per hour as we move into later in this morning. So we get to a little bit of a breezy morning as those temperatures start to warm up. Now we're not getting too hot today, only up to 92, 93 in some surrounding counties, but heat is imminent as we move into tomorrow. We've got an excessive heat watch for Nowata and Washington counties, and that is through 9 p.m. on Friday. We're looking at heat index up to 112 degrees now, mostly just for tomorrow, but temperatures today are already starting to warm back up. Not like they're going to be tomorrow, and we will talk about today and tomorrow heat and any rain chances we've got in the forecast as well in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you soon. Well, to celebrate National Reunification Month, the TFI in Pittsburgh held a pinwheel planting ceremony yesterday. The team shared reunification stories in addition to planting pinwheels to represent and recognize the nearly 300 Kansas families TFI has helped reunify this past year. In the past year, TFI has served more than 6,000 children in prevention, foster care, adoption, and residential services. 2 new exhibits are on display in the Lowell Milken Center for Unsung Heroes in Fort Scott. A group of students from Iowa made a video about Dr. Christine Grant's impact on the Title XI in sports, and the center wanted to showcase it. Another student from Nebraska honored the first Native American doctor in the United States. Relatives of the unsung heroes were also present.
Yes. She impacted millions, not just family, not just friends, millions. Yeah.
The exhibits are funded by the 2024 Attraction Development Grant for Kansas Tourism. The Downtown Joplin Alliance yesterday evening gave folks a chance to learn about new signage rules in the city. They hosted an event called Signs of a Great Downtown. It's part of a quarterly set of meetings to discuss what's happening in Joplin's downtown and what's to come. Last night's meeting was focused on rules about neon signs and how businesses can brand themselves.
I think it'll be inspiring to get some of the businesses to, rethink their signage and think about how it relates to the public, how it relates to vehicles or people walking and that kind of thing.
Highway 66 connection, which is strong. We're just big believers. Signage can be tourism. People go places to take pictures of cool signs. Maybe hard to believe for some folks, but it is a big deal.
The meetings also provide a chance for local entrepreneurs to meet and connect. Well, the Southwest Center for Educational Excellence celebrated the 2023 Missouri Regional Teacher of the Year yesterday in Webb City. The center hosted an awards luncheon for 11 District Teachers of the Year nominees. A committee composed of area educators and community members will complete the selection process and select 2 winners. And the 2 winners, Craig Fox from Carl Junction and Allison Coral from Neosho, will represent the Southwest Missouri region in the statewide competition for Missouri Teacher of the Year.
I throw my heart into education every single day. I love my kids. I love teaching. I teach junior high kids, and I teach math, which isn't always everybody's favorite, but some kids, I turn them around. By the end of the school year, they love math, at least some of them.
I wish I would have loved math when I was growing up. Well, the event also served to announce the elementary and secondary awardees of the Southwest Missouri Regional Teacher. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. The FAA expects that today will be the busiest air travel day of the year ahead of the 4th of July holiday. And we have a hot and cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Lindsay Gaffney in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, well, it's no question that it's hot out there, and in some parts of the country, air conditioning isn't standard. One man saw seniors suffering in the heat and decided to do something about it. Sam Reed has the story in Rhode Island.
For Roberta Schwartz of Middletown, there's no task too small when it comes to keeping up with her home.
I think in my head, I think I'm able to do more than actually I should be doing.
16 years ago, her husband passed away. And ever since, the 77-year-old has been fending just fine for herself. But recently, when temps touched into the 90s, things got uncomfortable.
I just thought, well, I'll tough it out. I have a fan overhead. So that was my plan until it really got hot.
And as air conditioners sat on her floor, installing them was something even she knew wasn't possible.
Sometimes we don't know who to ask or how to get the help. And in the summer, so many people are busy.
25-year-old Mason Phillips of Bristol is one of those people. In 2019, he started his home remodeling business, MD Phillips Construction. But besides working on homes for about a week now, he's been working with seniors to help keep them cool.
I just said, you know, it's too high. If there's anybody that needs it, I got the employees that can help.
Having installed his grandmother's air conditioner, and the same for her friends living in a Bristol senior home, he realized what a difference it made.
I think of my own grandmother sitting in a hot room when it's 90, 95 degrees outside, and, you know, even if it's just one AC in the bedroom, just somewhere where they could go and cool off, will help out big time.
So he put up a post on social media, volunteering his services to seniors, offering to install their AC units free of charge.
I got some strong guys that work for me, and we all make it a team effort to get them done.
When I saw it, it was like, wow, that's great.
So far, they've installed about 15 in 5 days.
I got a couple that are coming in this week, and as many that people call, we'll make a way to get over there.
They make sure they're working properly and pumping out cold air. The gesture has warmed his heart.
You drive away feeling a little bit better because, of course, they always say nice things about you as you're walking out the door. You can't help but smile.
And while this all started with his love and compassion for his grandmother, now there's a few others that are very fond of him, too.
I thought that was a very heartwarming idea that someone would have to think about us in the hot weather and offer to do something at no cost to us.
Well, like much of the country, New England is currently experiencing a heat wave. Well, devastating floods in the Midwest will have an outsized impact on many homeowners who do not have flood insurance. Government data finds only about 26,000 policies were issued across Nebraska, South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota because bad floods there are rare. The Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, says there's some help available for the uninsured, including grants and low-interest loans, all of which can help with temporary housing, home repairs, cleaning supplies, and baby formula. The IRS's internal watchdog group is calling out the government agency for being too slow to resolve cases involving identity theft. The National Taxpayer Advocate says the delays are worsening and unconscionable, taking nearly 2 years to resolve identity theft cases. And if you're planning to fly today, make sure to get to the airport early because it will be extra busy. The Federal Aviation Administration expects that today will be the busiest air travel day of the year ahead of the 4th of July holiday next week. And over the next week and a half, the TSA is preparing to screen more than 32 million individuals. And that's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Lindsay with another look at your forecast.
Well, we've got a nice sunrise going on, 7th and Range Line, clear skies, not a cloud in sight so far. Now we do have a chance for a few clouds to be pushing in this afternoon, giving us some partly cloudy skies in the later on hours throughout the day. Now temperatures getting up to about 92 degrees out in Joplin and the low to mid 90s in the surrounding counties. Not going to be too bad today. We're also going to have pretty low humidity values, so it's not going to be humid. It's not going to be hot and muggy. It's just going to be hot. Now, unfortunately, the hot trend continues as we move into tomorrow with temperatures getting to the upper 90s and even reaching 100 in some of our surrounding counties. Luckily, we do have some rain shower chances in the overnight hours tonight after about 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. that may cool us off for hopefully throughout tomorrow. Now, we do have an excessive heat watch for some of our southern counties due to the heat and the heat index getting up to 112 degrees. That's just our southern counties. In the main metro area, Joplin, we're really only getting up to about 98 tomorrow, 92 today, and we're going to stay pretty low humidity value. So today is going to be one of our last pretty good days before we head into a hotter weekend and even hotter week just ahead of the 4th of July. Now, I'll have more details on all of that, the heat and the rain, coming up.
Hello to you, I'm Gail Kane. Coming right up on CBS Mornings, our conversation with Oscar-winning actor and director, that would be Kevin Costner, about what he calls his most ambitious project yet. It's a series of 4 movies about the settlement of the American West. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
Well, it's time to celebrate some Thursday birthdays here in the 4 states. We're going to start out in Carthage with Jaden McConnell. Happy 16th birthday to you. It says, "We love you, Grandma and Grandpa in Pittsburgh." Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jake Hohenschel, who turned 17 today. That's one before 18. One more year. You got it, Jack.
And happy birthday to Kelly Clune, who's turning 34 today. Happy birthday, Kelly.
We've also got a couple anniversaries going on. 32nd anniversary out in Columbus, Kansas for Wayne and Julie Thomas.
And also celebrating an anniversary in Columbus is Janet and Carrie McKenzie. They're celebrating their 54th anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Another birthday for Bill Wells, who turned 97 today. That is fantastic.
Yes. And over in Carterville, a happy birthday to Peggy Ball.
And we've got one last big birthday for Craig Biancarelli. Happy birthday to everybody who turned a year older today.
There you go. Yes, happy birthday and anniversary to all of those who submitted. We love celebrating you all. And if you would like to have your birthday or anniversary celebrated, be sure to submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. When submitting, be sure to include the day of the birthday or anniversary to ensure that we're celebrating you on the correct day. Now, here's Lindsay with a look at the forecast.
Well, we've got a gorgeous sunrise going on, 7th and range line. So far, not a cloud in sight. Temperatures getting up to about 70 degrees right now. And yesterday we had right about average, a high of 87 degrees, just actually a degree below average, and a low of 67 degrees. And we can thank the rain that we got yesterday morning for cooling us off yesterday. Unfortunately, it didn't cool us off today. We do get up to about 92 for our high. But the rain did come in handy because we are starting to see those drought conditions creep back in as we see those temperatures getting up to 90s and even hundreds across the region with little to no rainfall the last couple of weeks. But out in Newcastle County, just south of Independence as well, we got about 5 inches of rain. Now everywhere else got half an inch to an inch and a half. Joplin Metro, Manette, Pittsburgh, Nevada. All of it is needed. All of it is welcomed. Unfortunately, with the storms yesterday, we did have some wind damage across the area. Luckily, we're not in any more severe threat for the next couple of rain showers, storms that we've got going on in the next couple of days. But we do have an excessive heat watch until 9 p.m. for Newcastle and Washington County. And that is due to a heat index getting up to 112 degrees. So it's going to get pretty hot tomorrow. That's through 9 p.m. Friday. Now, we're staying pretty clear today. We do have some clouds possibly pushing in later this afternoon. We'll have some partly cloudy skies as we move into the afternoon. And throughout the summer months, there is always going to be that chance of that pop-up thunderstorm in the afternoon just due to the heat and the radiation off of Earth's surface, giving us some instability. But we're going to mostly stay dry today. Temperatures, like I said, getting up to about 92 out in Joplin, 89 in Pittsburgh, 94 in Independence, 93 in Sedan. Cooler in the eastern counties, 90 through Stockton, Monette, Cassville. A little bit cooler even in the northern counties as well. Yates Center, 89, Iola, 89, Nevada, 87. So today it's going to be relatively cool. I know in the 90s, not too cool, but in comparison to what we're going to see tomorrow, today is going to be welcomed, at least on my behalf. 98 in Joplin tomorrow, 94 in Pittsburgh, 100 in Independence, 103 in Sedan, even hotter in those southern counties, 99, Grove, Anderson, Neosho 96, not too bad. And we pair that with humidity values as well. Today, like I said, we're getting up to about 92, but humidity values are saying less than 35%. When they say less than 40%, heat index values are not going to be that high. So today it's likely going to feel like it's in the mid 90s, maybe even upper 90s in some surrounding counties, but it's not going to feel too bad today. Unfortunately, tomorrow as we go into the afternoon hours, still going to be 50% humidity in Neodesha, 41 in Parsons, 36 in Webb City. So not too bad in those eastern counties, 30%, but in the western counties, just across the border out in Kansas and Oklahoma, above 40%. And those temperatures in the upper 90s. That means that it's going to feel like it is even hotter in the triple digits as well. Today looking pretty good, partly cloudy skies. Temperatures up to 83. And then tonight, 73. We've got a chance, isolated shower or two after 1 a.m. and we do start to warm back up. We've got those showers pushing in those northern counties, but really not going to be too much, and we're not looking at a severe threat with any of that as well. Now tomorrow, getting up to 98, that's what we're really focused on. And then we've got a few chances of rain before we warm up for the 4th of July. But coming up on KOAM Morning News switches on over to Fox 14. Hear how one organization in Baltimore is stepping up to help kids battle homelessness in their city.
Well, here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Some forestaters are cleaning up damage left by overnight storms. A line of storms broke through our area early yesterday morning, leaving some people without power. Tree limbs and debris scattered across residential streets. There have been no reports of injuries, but crews and residents worked all day yesterday to try to get things back to normal. A Cherokee County, Kansas jury found Billy Barker of Galena guilty of murder. 50-year-old Barker is accused of shooting and killing 27-year-old Levi Porter of Riverton in April of last year. The jury also found him guilty of being a felon in possession of a firearm and criminally carrying a weapon. Sentencing is scheduled for September 5th. Well, scammers are taking advantage of the heat and people's desperation to repair their AC by pretending to be HVAC contractors. The Regional Better Business Bureau recommends that you research your HVAC contractor before agreeing to any work. You can verify the legitimacy of your contractor with a quick phone call to the BBB or ask friends for a referral. And that's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
Well, temperatures starting off this morning about 70 degrees, but we're going to warm up to mid to lower 80s by noon today. And as our high, we're getting up to closer to low 90s, up to about 92 degrees out in Joplin. It's going to be mostly clear. We have a few clouds rolling in early this afternoon, but overall it's going to be a pretty good looking day. I'm excited for it, especially with a hot day tomorrow.
Yes. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making country coleslaw in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Emily Frankowski, Director of Connect to Culture, joins us in the studio to talk about what's going on at the Cornell Arts Complex this summer.
Plus, President Biden is expected to pardon thousands of veterans who were found guilty under an old military law. But that'll wrap it up for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.